Juzzlers, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be doing something that I have not yet done, and that's an Apocalypse Rising 2 weapon tier list. This video should be coming out right before the drying, so that when you find maybe special or different guns during the drying, because the loot tables will be changed a little bit, you'll know which guns to pick up and which, to kind of leave and forget that you ever found them. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Firstly, I'd like to give a shout out to FireThrow5 on tiermaker.com for making this tier list. I've tried to organize it as best I could, but this should have all of the new guns in here because I do see the 93R and the Vagrant Lupara, which are the most recent guns to come out of the new metal update, I believe. So let's just start out with the basic equipment, the snub nose. I know what everyone says. I know, everyone knows how this gun feels. It's going in the F tier. This gun is not good. 6 shots and it's a 4-shot headshot? I mean, God forbid you miss 3 shots. Like, come on. It's not a good gun. I know the meme. All it takes is 1 snub nose, 4 shots. Yeah, I get it. But it's just F. It's just F tier. I'm sorry. It's not good. Next up, we've got the pocket knife. I mean, I feel like this is hard. Like, because you just use it. You know what I mean? I feel like I want to put most of these melee weapons in the no opinion category, even though I said I wasn't going to do that. I think what's going to happen is all the melee weapons are going to go in the no opinion, but I'm going to order them by how bad they are. So we'll just put the regular combat knife in there, and then I'm going to put the shiv above it. I think the shank is better, and then in that same vein, the sacrificial dagger is better than the shank because, and this is true of the combat knife as well, if you get a sharpening kit, you can 2-shot with these daggers. And even with that, the sacrificial dagger is better. That being said, though, the claws have too much aura. The abomination claws just have too much aura. They got rid of comboing, so for me, swords are gonna kind of sit just above the shiv, but below the 2 knives. Axe is dead last. The animation takes too long, and it's only a single shot. Hatchet, I'll put a little bit up here, but I feel like the animation kind of swings all over the place, and I don't know if I really like it. Officer Saber, it's gonna go, I'll put it above the long sword. I think that's just the regular long sword there. Regular katana, again, I'm gonna put that above the Officer Saber just because it's really fun. Baton, I'm gonna put that above the knife because they have the same stats. It can just multi-hit. Crowbar, I'm gonna put it below the knife because I feel like it can multi-hit, but it swings too slow. It's just not good. Frost Longsword, it has more aura than both of the daggers, but it still, I feel like, takes too long to kill compared to them. And then the Resolved Katana, you really can't get any more aura in APOC melee weapons, at least for the event ones, than this. The PC keyboard, though, just might be able to top that, but unfortunately, it just doesn't do quite enough damage for me, so it's going to go above the shiv, but below all of these longer sword options. Entrenchment Shovel, I guess I'll put it kind of in these two are kind of the same thing. I'll put it there, and then Chef Knife, I'm going to just have it hovering slightly above the regular pocket knife. All right, so now that we've got the melee weapons out of the way, let's get to the guns. We're going to start with secondaries. Like I said, I've tried to order it. So we've got the Stunted. Now, the Stunted for me, I think this is going to be a little bit controversial. It's a solid A tier. The reason is because you are firing 7.62 Soviet from a secondary weapon. And yeah, I know it's not a laser beam. It's certainly not a Snake Smack 10, which we'll get to later. And it's certainly not a real AK. But it comes with a 40 mag? Are you kidding me? As a secondary, and you can put optics and barrel attachments on it? I mean, to me, it is a pretty solid A tier. Next, we've got the 1911, and now the 1911 is definitely better than the snub. It's a secondary, it only has 1 more shot, so I'm gonna put it in the D tier because I definitely would pick it up over a snub, but it's really not that good. Okay, next up we've got, this is the Trapper's Lever Action. This is a secondary. I don't know, I'm gonna put it in the C tier because low-key, this gun can reach out. Like, it can extend past its range and hit. You know what I mean? Like, it can definitely hit, but it's still secondary. It's not doing a ton of damage. Yeah, I'm gonna put it there. AO-46. I feel like the AO sits pretty solid B tier gun. It's pretty good at short range. I like the fire rate, but it's the fact that it is in the secondary slot means to me that it gets bumped up from a C to a B tier. Next up, we got the Model 29. Again, I feel like this is just a D tier weapon. It's really, don't get me wrong, like the 50 headshot is really, really nice, but 6 shots, I feel like I'm not really picking this up all the time. P38, no. You know, the 459, I'm gonna put it in the D tier simply because the 15 shots is actually pretty nice, but it's still pretty bad. Makarov, my beautiful Makarov, I'm sorry, you're also going in the F tier. 8 shots, I mean, it's like a single stack semi-automatic pistol. It really is not that great. The Python is quite good. It's got a lot of aura. I'm gonna reorder these based on what I feel, but I can't let it get out of D tier. Like, it's just, I can't do it. The MP5K is a really, really good secondary. Question for me is it S tier? You know what I mean? Is it so special that I'm going to pick it up 100% of the times that I find it? The answer, no. I think it is better than the stunted simply because of fire rate, and the hip fire spread is just amazing. But honestly, I could be convinced either way just because the stunted has amazing damage. I really like the MP5K, but not having the ability to put an underbarrel attachment on it, it doesn't have that aura factor that some of the other secondaries have. Now the MAC-10, I think also falls into this category. However, it definitely excels in close range, which is something that the MP5K does, but the MAC-10 just does better. You know, I'm not going to put it above the MP5K for right now. I really don't know what the deal with that is. The regular MAC-10 is good, but the range and the hip fire spread are not good enough for me to put it into the S tier. We got the P220. This is a new gun. A newer gun, I guess. To me, I mean, it's good, but again, it's a semi-auto. I think it's going in the D tier. It's really not that special to me. Uzi, you know, I think the Uzi by default has to go into the B tier because I put the AO here, but really I don't like it that much because it's so bland. Its fire rate is low. I'm never really gonna pick it up, honestly. It's just not good. Now we got the Tech 9. I feel like the Tech 9 is a C tier for me. Personally, I don't like it. I think it's kind of annoying because you think, okay, I'm getting an automatic secondary here, but it only has 20 round mags, you know, which for the Uzi isn't as big of a deal because the fire rate is slower. The range is horrible. It feels like a pea shooter. So it's going in the C tier because I'm definitely picking it up over a P220. And a Python, you know, I might end up bumping that up to a C tier just because it is, it's a good gun. But I think the Tech 9 can sit pretty comfortably in C. Scorpion. Now, I feel like the Scorpion and the MAC-10 are very similar to each other. Whether one's better than the other, I'm not sure, but the Scorpion feels really, really good. Unfortunately, it doesn't feel S tier. To me, it just doesn't feel like it's an S tier gun, you know? It's good, but the 30 round mag barely ever spawns, and that 20 rounds is really, you're getting 2/3 of a MAC-10 mag compared, between the two. Next up, we've got the M9. It's another semi-auto. The reason I put the P220 up here is just because it feels a little bit better to me to use, but honestly, I might bump it down because of the damage, and I might do the same thing with the Browning here. Sorry, this is not the Browning. With the Beretta. Next, we've got the 93R. The 93R is really good, but even though it's a burst fire weapon, it falls victim to the same kind of coding where if you spam it as fast as it can go, it can't go as fast as it can. And that's the reason all of these semi-auto guns are down here in the first place. When you want to spam a semi-automatic weapon and want to get it to go that advertised fire rate that it has, it's not going to do that. The 93R goes up there simply because you're getting a guaranteed 3 really, really quick shots. At the end of the day, I'm going to put it above the Tech 9 just because it's a little bit better, but it's not that much better. Next, we've got the Groza. To me, I want to put it in the A tier, but I don't have that much experience with it. And you might say, okay, Jez, well, if you got to use it more, it certainly would go in the A tier. I mean, you barely ever get to use the stunted and it goes in the A tier. Yeah, but I'm not picking up a Groza 100% of the time because the ammo is so uncommon. You got to stay on Ferris. With the Groza, you've just got to stay on Ferris. So it's going in the B tier for me because it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but it's not great. Here we've got Old Reliable, the Coach Gun. Now, the Coach Gun to me can be very useful in certain scenarios, but you get 2 shots. You're getting 1 kill out of it, maybe, and then you have to reload. So it's going in the C tier. Next up, we've got the Full Auto Custom. This gun, it has aura. It definitely has the aura, but it doesn't quite have the aura to me to get it into A tier because you've got 12 shots, and it's 12 shots of 45, which you'd think, okay, hang on, this could be on par with the MAC-10. But the problem is it's got less than half the mag, but it has the same hipfire spread. So I don't really see the point of using it over the MAC-10, except, if you want it for the aura and for that, sweet underbarrel attachment. Next up, this is a hard one for me. We've got the Mark 23 SOCOM. Now, I really like this gun in concept. It hits like a tank, but you know, it's a full-sized handgun that's suppressed. The problem is in practice, it kicks like a horse. Like I feel like my camera is getting booted up. Like I'm in creative mode and I hit spacebar and I just go flying. Like that's what I feel like happens with it. And it's just not great. So it's going in the C, it's going in the D tier for me, honestly. Next up, we've got the sweeper. Before the update, it probably would have gone in C or D tier for me. But now I feel like it's very akin to the full auto custom in that it has the extended mags, and this one honestly hits harder, but the hipfire spread is a little bit worse. So I feel like you can't go wrong by picking it up, and it certainly does have aura, but to me it doesn't have quite enough to get out of B tier. We've got the broadside next. Oh man, the broadside is good. 2 barrels of 12 gauge all up front. The problem is, if you miss those 2 barrels, you have no other backup plan. So to me, it sits very comfortably in the A tier. I'd put it somewhere in here. I don't think I'm gonna end up ordering these weapons actually. I think it would give me a headache. Oh, this is an easy one. This is the Abres. This is F tier. This gun is horrible. I don't care that they buffed it to 50 damage. I don't care. This gun is awful. It's annoying to look at. I don't like it. It's bad. Doo-doo butt cheeks. Next up, we've got the Deeg. I feel like this can also pretty comfortably go into D tier for me. It's not great. It's semi-automatic. It's not very good. That's all she wrote. Rogue Uzi. Besides the stat bonus, this feels very similar to the regular Uzi. You know, yeah, the 32 round mag is really, really nice, but I personally don't feel like it's nice enough to compete with any of the guns in A tier, at least for me. That fire rate is just too slow. We've got the Lupara next. I feel like the Lupara and the Coach gun are nearly the same gun. You know, I might have the Lupara bumped up to the B tier just because it is a secondary, as opposed to the Coach gun taking up that entire primary slot. But you know, the range isn't very good, and you can get the 2 shots off fairly quickly, but nowhere near as quickly as the broadside. So I feel like, yeah, sure, B tier. Next up, we've got the Browning High Power. Again, I feel like it's a really nice semi-automatic handgun, but it's a semi-automatic handgun. You know what I mean? It's not very good. Next up, we've got the G17, the Glock. Again, 9mm handgun. Yeah, it's got the extra 2 rounds over the M9 Browning, but it's not good enough for me to go anywhere special. Vagrant Lupara. You know, the Vagrant Lupara also, I feel like that's also a B tier. Now, you might say, well, hang on a second. You've got 3 shots, so why isn't it competing with the broadside? It's 3 separate trigger pulls, which to me is good, but if I find a broadside, I'm probably picking it up over the Vagrant, at least, you know, after the end of this month, because the Vagrant will have been in the game for long enough where I don't feel like it's a gimmick that I've got to pick up. Here we go. I think this might be it, for me at least. The first S tier weapon, Snake's Mac 10. It has everything for me. It has aura, it has a purpose in that rate of fire and the hipfire spread are so nice together in that secondary slot. You can put an underbarrel attachment and it comes with the rifle scope now, which not only adds to aura, but if you want, you can take the rifle scope off and put something on it. I mean, to me, it's the whole package. It's S tier. This one, I think, is the 357 lever action, which to me is good. We're starting the primaries now. It's not bad, but genuinely, I don't think it's good either. Like, it's a semi-automatic gun. It's not very great. It's sitting C tier for me. You know what? No. If all these other guns are D tier, this is going at the top of D tier because 357 is nearly impossible to find. So I think that is what's going to hold the Python in D tier for me too, because once you're out of ammo, I mean, you know, good luck. At least with the secondary, it's a secondary. It's more of a gimmick. I don't have to use it all the time. I don't know if you could hear that top hat. What in the world was that noise? All right, AK-47, pretty comfortable for me. B tier. I think it's B tier as a primary. I think it's good, but you know, we've got the AKM. The AKM, for me, I think the AKM is going into A tier because the stats are really good. I feel like it can contend at range with any other assault rifle, and to me, that screams A tier. Next up, we've got the Asval. Asval is going to B tier. I know, you hate to see it from me, but 20 rounds of the slowest moving primary cartridge, it's abominable at long range. It's terrible. It's a laser beam up close, don't get me wrong, but it's only effective out to like 100, 150 studs. After that, no, good luck. You're just breathing on them. AUG, I know. This one's also a little bit controversial because how are you gonna put the AKM in A tier when the AUG and the AKM kind of they're both assault rifles? Well, it comes endgame. You don't have to put anything on it for the AUG to be in its endgame form. There is a reason that AUG crutch is something that people will yell, you know, in custom games that I'm playing, because it is good. Once you get used to that fixed magnification scope, it's like you can reach out with it. Especially, it doesn't take up very much in your inventory. It is an S tier gun, and I do not want to hear anymore. Auto 5. This one might surprise you guys. It's A tier. Yep, the Auto 5 is A tier. What in the world, Judge? You were just complaining about that semi? I know. But you were getting 5 shots of 12 gauge that you can just spew out all over the place and get, you know, you're guaranteed to get, for the Auto 5, to get at least 1 kill pretty much, right? It's going in the A tier for me. Okay, Camp Carbine, no, it's F. It's taking up my primary slot. I know, like, the fire rate is just bad. Like I said, I know people like it and it has 15 rounds. I genuinely would pick up a Model 459 secondary over this. Like, it's horrible. Next up, we've got the FAL. The FAL, marvelous piece of Belgian machinery, but it's not S tier. It's definitely A tier. It is an amazing gun. However, the 30 mags are fairly rare. The iron sights are nearly unusable for a lot of the people that I've talked to. It's not there yet. It's very good, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm definitely putting it up here, but it's not S tier. G3, kind of the exact same thing. It is more of a laser beam, but it doesn't have the same, like, killing power that the FAL has just because of the diminished fire rate. The iron sights are a little bit easier to use, but it still burns through 7.62 quite quickly. It's not S tier for me. M14 battle rifle. Oh boy. This gun to me is unusable with irons. You can't hit anything with it. It burns through 7.62 nearly twice as fast as I'd like it to. I have to bump it to a B tier. You know, MrrTopHat is really gonna hate that because he loves the gun. But any gun to me that you have to have with an optics attachment to use it, to me it's going B tier. It definitely has A and to maybe even S tier potential just because it can shred. But when you pick it up, you have to wait to get an optic. Like, unless you have practiced and practiced and practiced with it, which I know, Top Hat, you have. Unless you have practiced, it's nearly unusable. It's, you can't do it. Okay, 1903, I hope that doesn't even need explaining. I know it does 50 damage now, but no. BAR, the BAR to me is very interesting. You're only getting 20 round stick mags. It's very, very hard to find 30-06 around the map. It's C tier. Tommy, honestly, the Tommy and the bar look really nice next to each other. World War II champions. But the Tommy, while it can melt at close range, pea shooter at long range. You're never finding that drum, like you are, but you're never finding it. Just not worth it. All right, our first LMG, the 1919 A6. This gun is also really, really good. The problem is just the ammo, and that's why it's going in the B tier. For the same reason that the BAR kind of gets knocked down to the C tier rather than set up with the AK. The ammo is just too hard to find and no one really carries it. When you find the ammo, it's spawning like 8 out of 20 in those 30-06 boxes, and don't even get me started on how rare the can is. It's just hard. It's hard to make a good setup with it, so it's going in B tier. Next up, we've got the M21. Whoa. The M21 is really, really good at reaching out, and this is our first dedicated marksman rifle on the list. So it's hard for me to want to put it with the assault rifles simply because it's a different class of gun. Might put it low A tier, but I think for now I'm gonna keep it B tier. This is a bit of a weird tier list because C tier is kind of like not populated at all, and so I might end up shuffling a couple things around, but I feel like this list is pretty accurate. Next up, we've got the regular M249. It's an LMG, and because of that, it's quite good. The iron sights are just a little bit hard to get used to, and those mags take up a lot of inventory space. So for me, it's going in the A tier. But it's not ready to go off the bat like the AUG, and it's not as, dominant in its niche as the Snakes. Okay, we've got the grease gun next. Oh, this is a really hard one because the grease gun is really good because it low-key can reach out. Like, it has no recoil. It feels like having an Uzi in your primary slot. But I just diss the Uzi so much, and it's taking up your primary slot. A lot of times I would drop the M3 in favor of a BAR, so I think it's, I'm gonna put it C tier. Okay, here we go with the first sniper rifle, the M40. Now, don't get me wrong, the M40 is quite good, but it's honestly worse than the M21 because the fire rate is not good, and once you rack that bolt, your target's already in cover. So I feel like it can go C tier because it's good, but it's just not there. Next up, I'm pretty sure this is the M4 because it's the new, the picture is just straight off of the wiki. You know, I feel like it makes sense. It's going in the A tier. It's really good. It can reach out. 5.56 is really common, but it's not as effective in its niche as the AUG. Like I said, you kind of have to get some stuff to make it good. It's going in A tier. M60. Oh, the M60 is really good. The reason is that you get 100 shots of 7.62. The fire rate is slower than the M249, so you can make the one mag go a long, long way. But I don't think it's S tier. It's really good, but I don't think it's S tier. MAT 49. The MAT 49 is good, but it's a pea shooter. It's going ploop, ploop, ploop. 32 rounds of 9mm. It's fine, but it's not there. Going C tier. Maverick, you know, and the Maverick Tactical for me are also going into C tier. They can definitely get a kill at close range, but they're not there yet. They don't have as much range as I'd like them to, and the fire rate is much slower than the Auto 5, so they're going into C tier. The Model 44 carbine is quite good. The damage is really, really nice, but out the bat, having to use the iron sights, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that good. Nobody is carrying 44 Magnum around. It's just not great. You've got these hunting rifles next. These guns are not good. Like, just straight up, they're not good. Like, they're competitive now because they do 50 headshot. But to me, in order to get them out of D tier, the 788 and the 788 carbine need more damage. MP5. The MP5 is a good gun. I don't want to put it in the same category as the 1919 because it just doesn't have the range. It doesn't have the range and it doesn't have the consistency. It's going in C tier. In a similar vein to the M21, the MSG, I think can go in B tier. It can, you know, it can definitely reach out and the fire rate is good. It just, you know, it kicks quite a bit and it isn't as good and as versatile as the LMGs and the assault rifles when the fighting gets up close. The mounted CQR on the M4A1 operator is a little bit annoying, but I feel like people are too hard on it and it can go in the A tier. It's a little annoying, but the fact that it kind of comes with an operator suppressor, to me, cements it in the A tier. PSG, it's not special enough to put it above the MSG or the M21. It's good, but it's not there yet. This is another hard one to me because I want the AC556 to do so well, but like the M14, it's almost unusable because of that fire rate and kick. It's very usable at close range and it's really good, but in the grand scheme of things and just for fairness, I can't put it in the A tier. M16A1, the M16A1 is also very good, but to me, pretty comfortably B tier. You can't use the full auto at range without really taking a hit unless you have operator, short foregrip, and an optic. A2, the A2 is so mid, it's C tier. I know that it can definitely reach out and that the 5.56 is common, but when you have that kind of fire rate lag that you have with the A2, to me, no, it's staying in C tier. Next, we've got the Garand. Oh, this gun is good. Like, especially for when you can pick it up, it's really good. And a lot of people are gonna be saying, Juz, why aren't you putting it higher? But I feel like it's a B tier gun simply because the damage is kind of crazy for how much the kick doesn't send your camera to the roof. The Ruger Mini 14, this gun is also good, but it's not getting out of C tier for me. It can definitely lay down some serious firepower, but the 20 round mags, like, it's not very competitive to me. And the only reason it's going in C tier is because it kind of feels like it can reach out quite a lot further than some of the other guns on this list, especially because it's using a gun that has a nice velocity, but Spaz 12. Oh, this gun is hard. I've been accused of cheating on the AC556 with the Spaz 12, but I think that the Spaz 12 fills a niche in the game that's very interesting. It excels at short range even more than the Snakes, but you can't use it at long range at all. Similarly to the Snakes, the problem with the Spaz is that it takes up your primary slot. I really like it, don't get me wrong. I think that in a head-to-head gunfight, the Spaz could give the Snakes a run for its money, but you have to have it in your inventory, and for that, it's going into A tier. L9. I just can't, sniper rifles are good, but again, they're going in your inventory, and you have to peel them out. They take up a lot of space. That's why the Stunted is A tier, because you can kind of run it like another primary and have another gun in your primary slot. But just because that exists with the Stunted doesn't mean that I'm gonna automatically move all of the DMRs and snipers up. RPK, A tier. I feel like you can't have the RPK in B tier. That wouldn't make much sense. But it's not getting out. It's not going to S tier. I think some people would put this in S tier. It's not going to S tier. Come on, chill out. Next up, we've got the SKS. A lot of people would be like, Juz, why aren't you putting it right next to the Garand? The damage. The damage is 41, but to me it feels like it's a little bit more all over the place. I'm gonna put it in B tier, but I want you to know that I'm doing that with like a hesitation. 94 repeater, yeah, this is D tier. I'm only putting it there because it has more range than all the F tier guns. I know what you're gonna say about these two. I don't care. I hate them. XM, you know, I feel like I would have put it in the A tier, but it's just a worse M4 now, and so I feel like I kind of have to bump it down just because its niche is being filled. You know, a 5.56 gun with all 3 attachment slots open that can take the same magazines as the M4. I don't know why I wouldn't just pick up an M4. PP Bison, I mean, PP. It's PP. The gun is PP. It is like a PP shooter. I'll tell you that much. I'm hovering. I'm just gonna put it in C tier. It is automatic. It shreds at close range if you have good tracking, and those magazines are gigantic. PKM, again, A tier. It hits like a tank. It's very similar to the M60. You just can't put an underbarrel attachment on it. The ammo is just very hard to find, and I know that that's the same reason that I've bumped down a couple other guns. But the PKM I feel like is good enough to where if you manage your shots well, you can find enough rimmed now, especially with the Fozen being added, the PU being a little bit more available, the SVT, stuff like that, the Dragunov spawning in nearly every heavy weapon crate that the PKM doesn't spawn in. You're going to be able to find a little bit more ammo now. I'm going to put it in A tier. SVT? C tier, I feel like it's definitely on par with some of these other DMRs and stuff, so I'm putting it there. The problem is that you just have to find a scope, which you don't have to do for the M21, the MSG, or the PSG. They already come with them. M249 Para, I feel like that and the M249 do not feel any different to me. Maybe there's a tiny bit of a difference, and the M249 Para is a little bit smaller in your inventory and is a little bit cooler when it shows up in the kill feed. But other than that, it's just a rarer version of a gun that already exists. I see no reason to move it up or down. MP40, you know, it feels kind of like a Bison that just like has half the mag size. You know, it's 9mm, the Bison Soviet 9mm. They're very similar to each other. The Mat 49 though is already in C tier. The MP40 is not going anywhere. Mosin PU is called PU because it stinks. It's not good. It's just another bolt-action rifle. But because I gave these other 2 guns the D tier, I'm gonna give it the D tier. It comes with the scope, so you can hit stuff far away when you pick it up, but it's not good. The Fozen, on the other hand, I mean, this gun is horrible. That gun is terrible. Don't ever pick it up unless you have to. M2 Carbine, in custom matches, this gun absolutely has the capability to go head to head with any gun in the A tier, except at range. It can't reach out. It just cannot do it. So between that and the fact that the ammo is nowhere to be found, it's going into B tier with the AC556. I feel like that makes sense. The M1 Carbine then I can knock down to C tier. You know, it's no M1 Garand, but it also I feel like doesn't deserve to be in the D tier with these other things. It's good. But that's it. AK-74, that's an A tier gun. You know, the ammo is much more common now. It has nearly no recoil, especially when you get attachments on it. It's just a laser beam. It's a really, really good gun. Do I think it's S tier? Maybe. But I think if I move it into S tier, I'd have to move a lot of other guns around, and I don't want to do that, and I also don't think that would be fair to this tier list. Dragunov, it's going into C tier. Now, it feels really good, don't get me wrong. Especially if you put another optic on it, you can go pew, 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 and take stuff out. But you need to find attachments in order to make that happen. Oh, sorry. This is going into B tier. So it's not above any of these other guns. Okay, okay, I was going to say, that makes more sense. Yeah, B tier. RPK-74, it's going right where the AK goes. It's going right where the AK-74 goes. I know it drops the 45 round mag sometimes, but no. AKS, this one's a bit of a weird one because it feels like exactly like the AO-46, but it's taking up your primary slot. It's C tier. I feel like it's just C tier. You know, argue with me all you want about it being, you know, a relatively low recoiling 5.45 gun. No, it's just C tier. VSS, The VSS is like, it's on the border between D and C for me. Because it's like, it is semi-automatic, but the ammo is just way too hard to find to make it like even comparable with some of these other ones. The only saving grace is that it comes with a scope and it is very quiet, so people will get scared, but like that bullet speed, especially on something like that, is just so bad. Tank of Air. Whoa. Now, a lot of you know that I excel during the drying with this gun, especially because sorry, TopHat, big yawn. Especially because it's that one-shot headshot. But you can't put it in your inventory over some other stuff. It's going in the B tier. It's really good, but it's slow, it's clunky, and that one-shot headshot going up against a Zerg is more of a gimmick than anything. Boomstick. Now, the Boomstick for me is also going in B tier because it is like the broadside, but it's taking up your primary slot. So it kind of suffers the same fate as the Spaz, where it would have been higher, but it's the primary slot, so it's being bumped down. Oh boy. The Trooper. Now, the Trooper is an S tier gun, but in the grand scheme of things, it certainly is not. And you know, the only reason it doesn't befall the same fate as the regular A6 is because you can put a barrel attachment on it, a grip on it, and it has that side face shield. Are you kidding me? That's like one of the coolest things ever. So for me, it's going in the A tier. Santa's Pig. This gun is balls, dude. This gun literally is balls. It shoots balls. It is balls. It's going into D tier. It's bad. It can't hit anything when I use it, but then when someone else uses it, I'm getting like on. It's so annoying. Patriot, again, a lot of aura points here, and I would put it in the S tier, but it befalls the same fate as the Spaz. It's taking up another inventory slot, and the magazines are huge. You just can't do it. I think there are a couple things that I want to move around based on my personal preference. L9 goes up to B tier, but the SKS comes down to C tier. I think that's pretty fair. As far as S tier goes, I feel like I can't, in my right mind, can't move anything up to the S tier yet. But there are some guns that I think should be up there based not on ammo or anything and how they feel. If I had to move like 2 or 3 guns up from the A tier to the S tier that I really like and think are very important guns that shouldn't go unnoticed with some of the other guns like the AKM, which is like fairly average in the A tier, I think it would have to be the Trooper, the PKM, the M60. For me, those guns are really, really good, especially in a game when you're fighting off like Zergs as a solo. In terms of how the game is flowing, right now, I'm taking the Trooper because of how it feels, the PKM because of how it feels, and the M60 because of how it feels. Other than that, I feel like this list is pretty appropriate. It's hard to rank these melee weapons, even though I said no opinion. The Abomination Claws and these 2 daggers, along with nearly all of these melee weapons except for Crowbar and Axe, are genuinely better for me for getting kills than any of the F tier weapons. So these could be moved up to the D tier. But I'm not going to do it because they don't shoot bullets and they're just there to whack people. This is it. This is the final list. I hope you enjoy it. Huge shout out to MrrTopHat for editing this. Thank you, TopHat. Trying a new system with videos just because I'm going to be much busier. I'm starting my senior year of school soon, so the drawing will be the last big event that I'll be doing where I won't have a ton of projects going on all the time. I'm going to do another outro, TopHat, so don't. Juzzlers, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I know that a lot of you will not agree with some of my picks, especially my most controversial, but I must say, I must request that you put your gripes down in the comments below. I really want to hear what you guys think. I'm definitely open, could bump the SKS down another slot. For real, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if any of the handguns in particular you like more than the other ones. I'm always open to hearing suggestions. Let me know what other content you'd like to see on the channel. We're definitely getting some other videos in here. But yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in the drawing. Quick shout, Juzz out. Peace.